Um, Another thing you can do, you can actually create your own user style sheets, and these are generally things done in your actual browser. Um, Everything we've showed so far have been author style sheets, essentially, but you can create your own style sheets, which you can do. But what happens is that uh, um, the author style sheets will override yours. I'm not sure what this is an example of. This is not an example of a user style. No, I think it's an example of a user style. Hmm. Oh, here's a user style sheet. Okay, so this is but you have to put this user style sheet in your browser somewhere. Let's see if it tells you how to do it. Adding user style sheet, yeah. So you go to IE9, you go to Internet Options. So we can probably see that here somewhere. Internet Options. Accessibility, is that what it said? Where is accessibility? There it is. User style sheet. So you can probably upload it to there. So you can add your own user style sheet if you want. Um, and you can also get some more information from Google on how to do it. Um, Not something I ever bothered with. And obviously you can set whatever you want, including the font. Um, in this particular case, it sets it to 0.75 of a letter M. And you can see we get a lot smaller. Okay, let's see. The only other thing I had to do is show you an example on, well, actually, absolute positioning. These are the same two links, or they should be anyway. And with phone number, and show you how absolute positioning can be done and why it's useful on web applications, where you want to create a form, a user input form, and you want fields in a certain position automatically. If we look down here under, most of this stuff is relative, means it's just going to flow left to right. And you see name is that way. But if we look down under the input for a phone, you can see that under style, I'm creating a z-index of 107. The left is 250 pixels. The width is 250 pixels. And actually, let's see. This actually, let me start up Opera. This probably will look better under Opera. Okay, so the reason I'm going to use Opera instead is so that we can modify the source code. So I can go in here, scroll down here, and for example, change the left position. I'll just change it from 250 pixels to 250 pixels. I can click Apply Changes, go back here, and now look at where phone number is. Moved it all the way over. I can move it over even further if I wanted to. 50 pixels. And now it's all the way on top of it. So that's what absolute positioning does. It allows you to say, put this wherever you want to put it. Why aren't they together in one P? You could do that, but probably the better way might be to just use absolute positioning. Get back to 250. Or put them in a div. Would probably be even better still. And the reason you would do this absolute positioning is because sometimes you have form elements, and you want form elements to flow correctly, and you really can't get that with relative formatting. You can only do it with absolute formatting. So that definitely helps to do some stuff over, to do stuff that way. People used to try and use tables for that, but tables are a little kooky as well. So absolute positioning is helpful. Okay. Any questions? The only other thing to talk about then is Lab 2, which it's a CSS lab where we're going to want you to create basically a fairly simple web page using these CSS elements. And here's what you're going to have. You have a title, which is CIS 111 Lab 2, large heading of the same thing, smaller heading, usually heading H2, information about me, an unordered list containing your name, CSM, ID, date and time of lab, smaller heading, a list of things I like, whatever, pizza or, I don't know, beer, weddings, traveling, whatever, make it up if you want. But things you like. And then an ordered list containing at least smaller heading saying a list of things I like. Oh, and then at least 5 things you like. And again, whatever, I don't really care. Make it up if you want. The heading in part 2 is centered. And again, you should be using cascading style sheets for this. The heading in part 3 is to be bolded blue text on a yellow background. Again, using CSS only. Heading in part 5 is to have bolded white text on a black background. And the text in part 5 must be the same size, use the same tag as the text in part 3. So you should use a class attribute to distinguish between the two. The unordered list in part 4 is to use the UL tag, and its list items are to be displayed in purple text and underlined. Again, using cascading style sheets. And the ordered list in part 6 with the OL tag are to be displayed in blue text and italicized. That's the emphasis tag, the EM tag. Okay, and you'll need to upload this to Web Access. By the way, I need to fix that. You should upload this stuff to Web Access. Any questions on Lab 2? No? Any questions at all on anything? No, don't email me the lab. Upload it to Web Access. Before you upload it to Web Access. Any other questions? Okay. If you send me the first lab by email, that's okay. I'll grade that as is by email. And if there's no more questions, I will. I'll end the webinar, but I will be logging on to Yahoo Instant Messenger very shortly, as well as AOL Instant Messenger. So if you need to get a hold of me, you'll be able to ask questions through that. All right. Thanks, everyone. And remember, Thursday, I will be talking healthcare IT at Mission College in Santa Clara. If any of you are interested, let me know. I got to give you, I think, an email to actually RSVP, and you'll get the details of where to go and all that sort of thing. So let me know if you're interested. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.